great stuff. That's the way to do it.
Excellent.
It was really, really windy, and the wind was changing every second. And I was told to sort of, when I got myself into sort of a rut, to sort out to try and get the boat to come round in its own way. I was moving the sail one way and moving the rudder the opposite way, hoping that the boat would come round. It finally did come round. It caught the wind very much to my surprise, and the sail went and disappeared, and it sort of disappeared, and I went into the water. I was just about to get out of the water and sort of start to swim back when the boat self-righted itself, and I came up with it, despite being in up to my waist in water. It was quite an adventure.
But it just goes to show, I suppose, that they are very stable, that it did right itself.
Exactly, and I didn't panic. You know, I had my life jacket on, I wasn't far away from the wharf, so, and I knew that the safety boat was always going to be there. It's always hovering around in the water, so they're there within seconds, so you've got no fear, no worries.
A hoist is available to transfer sailors from wheelchair to boat if necessary. And unlike conventional dinghies, the sailor sits in a forward-facing hammock seat and steers with a joystick.
All right, Keith, is your hand all right there? Yeah. So, when are you happy with that? I'm fine.
A larger boat with a skipper and crew can take out those who may not be able to sail independently and their helpers. Sessions are run by RYA-trained sailing instructors from the Alton Broad Water Sports Centre with the help of Waveney Sailability's many dedicated volunteers. Some of the more experienced members have even been helped to qualify as instructors themselves.
We've trained about 15 people up as assistant instructors. Some of those are disabled people, some of them are able-bodied helpers, along those lines, but also different people have gained different things, from confidence enough to sail a boat by themselves out on the water, or even just to racing with the sailing club once a month. There's a race on a Wednesday evening where they allow the sailability boats to go out and race.
I volunteered to go on the training course, and they've trained me to be an assistant instructor, and also the power boat certificate. I did the training with Sailability, so it's been very good to me, and I absolutely love it.
So you've got a lot out as well as putting a lot in?
Oh, much more out of it than I've put in. I'd be here every day if I could.
Yeah.
I've sailed for years and years, but in today's health and safety requirements, I had to go on training courses to actually teach people how to sail. And I went on 3 weekend courses, and it was very, very interesting. Relearning basic skills so you can show the people how to do it, and it was extremely rewarding.
Well, Kevin's is on about Paralympics at one point, so we don't know, but yeah, it could be.
Would you do the instructor's course or anything like that, do you think?
Well, Kevin asked me about that last year when I wasn't that keen to start with, but now I've seen it got better. Yeah, I would be, yeah.
And how important is it that the club becomes self-sufficient with volunteers rather than paid instructors?
At the moment, we're dependent on Suffolk County Council, and we have to pay them quite a large amount of money. And if we can do it for ourselves, we don't have to pay them, and it gives more money for sailing. And several of us are committed to it, therefore we're more than pleased to devote our time to actually helping this to happen.
The whole goal for us as sort of SWSA, Suffolk County Council, is for us to pull back slowly, letting their volunteers take over, so hopefully they'll become self-sufficient, and that's hopefully going to happen by either next year or the middle of next year. They will be totally self-sufficient.
Well, the social side of the club is equally important. Mary, it's your job to make all the teas and coffees and things, isn't it?
Yes, I do have a little bit of help from a couple of the other ladies though.
And how did you get involved in the club?
Well, because my husband Dave is disabled, he's sailed for many, many years on the Broad, and when Kevin decided to start Sailability, he made a phone call because David jumped at the chance to instruct.
And you have your hands full here and an enormous
Yes,
teapot.
yes.
How important is the social side of the club?
Very important. The disabled people obviously like the social side. They get together on a Tuesday and have a natter. They go off and do their sailing. We have a social at Christmas, which is always great fun. And we have a barbecue in August, which they come to. We have had a film show earlier this year. So yes, they enjoy it. It's great to see the disabled people out there because they're free.
So you get as much out of it as they do, in a sense.
Yes, I never go on the water. But,
Not a keen sailor yourself?
no, definitely not.
To make Waveney Sailability as accessible as possible, the Trust needs to keep subscriptions low for members. That means regular support from individuals, companies and charities to help cover boat maintenance, insurance and RYA training. The running costs are modest, but regular financial help is still needed.
We can't do it by ourselves. Membership, which we try to keep down to a reasonable level, will not pay for this. And so we do need sponsors. We've needed the sponsors to buy the boats. As you see, all boats have been sponsored, either initially by the Rotary clubs and later by some individual people and clubs and the Broads Authority. There's the life jackets. All extras need to be sponsored, and now this boat shed, we do need the sponsorships to complete the building of our boat shed. And there will be things now this coming winter, it's 3 years, we will need maintenance on the boats. So there's a cost there to keep up the maintenance.
The running costs on the safety boat and the maintenance is, yes, very expensive. And that's one of the difficulties, getting the running costs for things. It's relatively, well, not easy, but we don't find any difficulty with people giving us boats and equipment, because often they can be recognised for it by having their logo or so on, as you've seen on the boats. But getting the actual running costs, day-to-day running costs, is more difficult. And of course it's going to rise the more boats we get and the more members we get.
Having spent the capital, what we now need to do is establish a permanent income stream. Because of the members that we've got, they have very often limited income. We need to keep the subs low, and therefore a regular income stream for revenue expenditure is probably the next step for us.
The many sponsors to whom Waveney Sailability owes its success so far are all proud to be part of what's been achieved here.
Well, we gave £5,000 to the particular project of building the new boat shed here, which is a very, very important project at this stage for Sailability, to see it grow for the future. And so it was important for us to really put our weight behind such a big donation this year.
I've had a lifetime's interest in the sea and sailing. I was 27 years a lifeboatman, so I personally also had a great interest in seeing this project go forward, having seen on many occasions disadvantaged people and how they can take to sailing on the water on a sort of virtual level playing field. So I think it really touched all the right buttons for us in the Admiral's charity.
Well, the Broads Authority has a fund called the Sustainable Development Fund, which is an annual sum of money that we give out by way of grants to promote sustainability in the Broads. And the local Rotary clubs in the Lowestoft area approached us about the scheme that they were running in Alton Broad to encourage disabled people to get out in the water. And we gave them an initial grant to purchase a boat, provide some training and some promotion for it.
So this is the newest addition to the fleet, Barry?
That is, yeah, come the other Tuesday.
And why was it important to you to...
Well, it's a bit of a story. My wife's brother had 4 daughters, and the third daughter down was spina bifida, and she was Denise. She never walked, she was in a wheelchair all her life. She loved sailing with the Stardust from Beccles, and so we had a fund for her in her name, which we used to help any disabled children. And so the money what was left, and the families got together and they bought this boat, and they then can see other people enjoying this activity on the Broads, being disabled just as she was.
You don't really get to understand and enjoy the Broads fully unless you're out on the water. So if you are disabled
actually getting out on the water is particularly difficult. And when we visited Waveney Sailability to look at how successful the first grant had been, we were so impressed by the work they were doing with these group of people out in the pouring rain enjoying themselves, that we went back to them and said, is there another way in which we can help? So it's been a delight to us that we've been able to give them some further money to help with 2 further boats.
The fact that you are helping so many disabled people take to the water, I think, was something that appealed to us. The fact that you had done so much already in funding your boats and getting the organisation to its current level is again something we look for. People who have already put in a huge amount of effort, and if we can come along and chip in a small amount to help something, the next step become true, become reality, then that's just the sort of project we like.
Well, Sailability really is the type of project that Rotarians become Rotarians for. It's an opportunity for us to really help people in the community to improve their quality of life, not only by raising money to help them, but also to come along and physically take part in a quality of life activity that otherwise they wouldn't be able to enjoy.
Add a little money to a lot of enthusiasm and dedication and you can see the results for yourself. Waveney Sailability has such a lot to offer. Wonderful facilities, a tireless team of volunteers, great instructors and members who just love what this sport adds to their lives. So if there's anyone watching this video who's thinking that they might donate or sponsor a boat or get involved in the club, what would you say to them?
Please, please, please do, because we're growing all the time, we're like Topsy, and people come along and experience it, and that's it, they're hooked, even if they've never sailed before. I mean, a feature is that whatever your level of experience, they'll take you on and progress you from there. We've done a bit of sailing in the past, but we've never raced, and we're learning to race now, and we're pretty awful at it, but it's great fun learning.
Yes, we enjoy it.
Well, I think it's a real lifeline. I mean, this is the most active thing I do nowadays, coming down here, and the fact there's a good day and you've got lungs full of fresh air and you go home tired that you've had a good day out. Honestly, it's the highlight of my week through the summer, coming here. I'm just so glad I came in the first wonderful group, you know.
Thanks a lot. Okay, bye now.
If you'd like to become one of Waveney Sailability's sponsors, please get in touch. We'd love to have you on board.